Hello, everybody. It's so great to see you guys. Be live again with you. Who do we have? So today we are going to make shutter cards. Hey, Amanda. We are going to make shutter cards. So let me get rid of my keyboard here. So I have one here that I made, and we'll make another one today. But basically, it's a gatefold card. We made those last week, I believe it was, or maybe the week before. And it opens and it exposes a cute little message on the inside. This one says, "You're the cutest chick around." And then it closes back up. So we're going to make another one of these today. So for your card, you need a few supplies. You're going to need cardstock and patterned paper, which I am going to be using some patterned paper from this pad that I got at Michael's. I don't remember when I got it at Michael's though, but it came from Michael's sometime in the last couple of years. I pulled out this cute page from it. So that, and then you need 2 coordinating, excuse me, pieces of cardstock and a piece of white cardstock that you can stamp on and be able to put your dies on or whatever you're going to decorate it with. All right, so you need cardstock and pattern paper. You need glue and tape. Now, you could probably do everything with just the tape, and you can probably do everything with just the glue, but I find that there's one spot in here that is easier to do with the tape, and I just like using my glue otherwise. So there's that. A pencil and a ruler, and then whatever stamps and dies you're going to use. I am going to use a little stamp from Waffle Flower. And I think I've lost everybody again. All right. Am I back? Can you hear me again now? I think so. All right. So the stamps that I'm going to use are from Waffle Flower. I'm going to use this year extra special one, and this is their postage collage egg hunt stamps. And then I am also going to use some die cuts from their postage collage egg hunt icons die set. I cut out this cute little basket, one of the chicks, a couple of eggs, and the paintbrush from this set here. All right. Well, hopefully you can hear me better this week than you have in the past. I have a new microphone, so you should be able to hear me a little bit better. One other thing you're going to need is a paper trimmer. I totally forgot to say that because obviously you got to cut your paper. So let's do that. Let's cut our paper into the shapes that we need it to be. So to start with, you need to decide which of these colored cardstock pieces are going to be your card base and what's going to be your coordinating color. So for me, I'm going to use the pink as my card base. So I'm going to keep my paper from falling. Cut this down so that it becomes 8.5 by 5.5. We'll need the rest of that later. And then we're going to score this at 2 1/8 of an inch from the edge of it on the shorter side. So if you have one of these score buddies and that's an 1/8, it's the dot here. So score that. And I'm only scoring one side because I found a trick that when you fold in the one side or score the one side and fold it in, then you can fold in your other side and it will be perfectly matched up in the center. Instead of trying to score both sides, it doesn't ever match up perfectly. So I just score one side and then fold in the other. And if you remember, this is our basic gatefold card from a couple weeks ago. All right, so there's that piece. Now we're going to cut. I'm looking at my notes here. I wrote down what we needed to be able to do. So I'll put it here so that I can still look at you guys. All right. Next rather, we're going to cut some white cardstock for the center of our card. Now, usually I would stamp my sentiment before I glue it into my card, but this time I am not going to, and you'll see why here in just a few minutes. So this one is going to be 5 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 of an inch. And I'll have all these measurements, if you're watching this on replay, I'll have all these measurements for you down in the description, so you can see them and get them. All right, oops, all my little die cuts. We're gonna glue this piece down into the center of the card. And try to get the center of the card in the middle. All right. Now we are going to, oh, did I get glue on the outside? No, I did not. Okay. Now we're going to glue together some pieces that are going to cover this up and make the pretty side of our shutter. So we're going to take a piece of our coordinating color, and we're going to cut it at 5 1/2 by 3 inches. And now we're going to take a piece of our patterned paper, which I'm going to need to use my big cutting thing over here for, 5 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. So 5 1/4 inches by 2 3/4 of an inch. Set that to the side, and now we're going to glue these two pieces together. So if you're making a card with us today, make sure you post a picture of it in our Facebook group. Card making creating with Jazzy Bundles is our group, and I would love to see the pictures of your cards. So go ahead and post in our Facebook group. If you're making a card after the fact, after this has been recorded, we would still love to see pictures of your card. So come on over and share with us. There's one more thing that you will need. I forgot. You'll need some foam dimensionals. So we're going to put one in each corner of our paper here. And we don't need it in the center or anything like that, just the corners. Now, we're going to cut a circle out of the middle of it. Now, you don't want it like middle. I like to put mine off center is what I'm trying to say. And you don't want it too close to the top either, because then we are not going to be able to get our shutter to be able to go in there and work correctly. So trying to center this the best that I can in my paper. And not too bad. All right, I can save that for another craft. And now we're going to go ahead and glue, or take the plastic pieces off of these and adhere it to our card. Goodness gracious. All right. So we put this on, line it up at the bottom, and then it should just go straight across, straight up rather, and be covered. Not too bad. Okay, now it's time to make the shutter part. This is the fun part. So what we're going to do is we need 2 pieces of cardstock that are from this pink color. On mine is the pink color, your base color. And you need them to be 4 inches by 3.5. And you need 2 of those. So 4 inches by 3.5. Now we're going to score these at the 1/2 inch mark. So we're going to make it so that it's longer in front of us. At the 4 inches is at the top and the bottom, and the 3.5 is on the side. And score it at the 1/2 inch mark. Do that for both of them. All right. Now comes the part where you need your ruler, and you got to do a little bit of measuring and marking with our pencil here. So you're going to take it, and in the half, I'm going to use my board here to line it up so that I am doing this in the middle, which is the 1 3/4 inch mark. Without trying to get my head in the way of the camera. All right, we're going to mark it 2 inches in, put a little dot. Now, taking your ruler, you're going to connect that dot to the corner on the side that is not scored. All right, now we're going to do that again for the other one. Okay, the 2 inch mark. On glass, my paper was moving all over the place. All right, pull that down, and from the center to the other corner. And that's all you need your ruler for. No more measuring. now we're going to cut. So we're going to cut this triangle out. And I'm going to try to cut it so that I don't get the pencil line remaining on my paper. I'm going to try cutting that off. Sorry about that. I think somebody is texting me. And my phone is recording me. That's all right. All right. Now we have our two little papers here that look like flags. And if you still have, if you have pencil marks on them, you can just erase it. It's not that big of a deal. My little dot is showing on them, so that's okay. Now we're going to fold on our scored line. Score or fold on the score line for the other one. This is where I like to use the tape instead of the glue. So, one second. Goodness. So we're going to use, I'm going to use the tape. You don't have to use the tape. You can use the glue, but you'll have to let it sit there for a minute or two to really adhere before you start moving your shutter piece. So I'm going to use the tape and take the paper off. And now we make the first side of our shutter. So you're going to unfold it where you have it. You're going to slide it underneath your designer paper. Line it up so that it's in the middle of your circle that you made. And it should be laying flat right now. Then you're going to take your side, fold it over, and pull it back. And there is your shutter on one side. Now it's time to do the other side. So again, we will take the tape, and I like to put mine as close to the edge, the folded edge, as possible. All right. Now, this one is going to go under. Be careful because you want to make sure that your sides, your triangles, are both, see, like right now, if you can see, I have one that's on top and one side is underneath. So you want to make sure that they're either both underneath or they're both on top. So I think, nope, I still... There we go. All right, now I got it both underneath. And bring it in so that it lines up in the center of the circle. And you'll see the little ends poking out on the other side. So it'll help you to line it up. And fold it over. And there's the rest of our shutter. So Now it's time to decorate the front. You can see that when we close it and then we open it, there's our shutter. Now, one thing to do still is if you close the side that's on top, if you close that, you're going to see the little triangles popping up. So you're just going to take your paper trimmers or your little scissors and cut those little triangles off so they don't stick out when one side is open. And close it up. All right, now it is time to decorate. So here we go. We're going to cut our coordinating, which I need another piece of, excuse me. All right. Where did my coordinating color go? Here it is. All right. So first, taking your coordinating cardstock and cut it at 5 1/4, which, let's see, this is 5 1/2, so we'll make this 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And you need 2 of those. 1 7/8. There's 2 of those. Those should fit right here on the outside of your card. And now we're going to cut some more of the patterned paper that you have. And it's going to be 5 inches by 1 5/8. Fractions. Whew. Okay. I think I was right. Okay. So we're going to glue those pieces together. I'll need more of this here in just a minute. Right. Glue the other one down. All right, now it's time to glue them to the card. Which, am I, let me see here. Am I frozen again? Hey there, how are you? All right, I don't know if I am frozen or not. Actually, I think I am. All right. I think it is better. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I'm starting to feel like it's not alive unless I have a technical issue, but I'll get it worked out. All right. Now, you could leave your card just like this if you wanted to, and just have it here and put our little message in the middle. But I am going to, like I did this one, I'm going to put a card in the middle so that then it opens up to the message on the inside. So for that, we need the piece of the cardstock that is, the coordinating cardstock first. We need that to be 4 inches. Everything is falling. All right, it needs to be 4 inches by 2 3/4, or sorry, 2 3/4. All right, so there's our first layer. Then our second layer is, I'm going to do pink, and we need it to be 4 1/2. Actually, hold on. I think I cut the wrong one to the wrong color. I did. Okay, so for me, my blue needs to be 4 1/2, which it is, great, by 3 1/4. All right, so that's a little bigger. There we go. Now I need to cut a 4 inch by 2 3/4. So 4 inches. By 2 3/4. That will go there. And then a white piece that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. All right. Now we're almost done. So it's time to start gluing and stamping. So before I forget, I'm going to stamp my message on the inside. And this is why I did not do the stamp before I glued that white paper in, because I didn't know where it would open to and how much room I would have and exactly where center was going to be. So my black dye. Of course I have it upside down. All right. Mine is opening a little on the side, but that's okay. A little bit centered, or off center, I should say. All right, so we'll leave that to dry for just a minute. Clean off my stamp. And I'm going to glue these pieces down. glue it right in the center. Okay, several things about my card are going to be a little off center, I think. All right, there we go. And then glue this one down. Did you guys have a good day? Mine was long. I had some challenges to try and figure out, and I didn't get them solved. So it's a little frustrating. So I got to figure out how to fix them tomorrow. But, all right. Now I'm going to glue all of my little pieces down. So first is the basket. Okay. I'm going to glue him down right in the middle. Off center middle, because that's what today is all about, me and off center. All right. And this is the top portion of my basket here. I'll glue this spot down. And then there's a little piece that's like a picnic basket blanket. And I cut it out of gingham paper. So it really looks like it is like a picnic basket blanket. All right. And that just goes on the edge. All right. And did I leave any space? Yes, I have some space. Forgot to leave a little bit of space to tuck my eggs into, but I think I got some. Okay. So first I have these little eggs that are colored, and then I've got some top little outlines in white. All right, there's one. All right. Here is number 2. Okay, and the last one. All right. It's hard getting glue on this little pieces, thin pieces. And if you have like double-sided sticker sheet maker, you can use that. And you wouldn't have to worry about the glue. So you could do that too. All right. Now I'm going to tuck my little eggs into the basket. one in, then tuck the other in. And then put in my last one. Oh, hold him down for just a second. All right, and then I decided that my little chick was going to be painting the eggs. So I'm gonna put some glue on my chick, put her on by the basket. And this itty bitty paintbrush, I don't know why I decided to do this to myself, but this itty bitty little paintbrush is gonna go right here. She's been painting them. All right. And I thought it was a little bare up at the top, so I decided to add some butterflies. So we'll put one here, 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 here. I have 2 pink ones and 2 blue ones. All right, now it's time to glue this down to the outside of the card. Now, when you do this, don't put glue on the whole thing, because that is gonna mean that you're gonna glue your card shut, and you don't want to do that. So just put glue on half of it, and we'll just kind of line it up here, see where half is. And I like to put it a little less than half because my measurements might not always be correct. But what I do is I put a good bit on, and then I kind of put it a little off center and slide it into place so that it does get the rest of the space, the rest of the cardstock with glue on it. All right, and here's our Easter card, our shutter card, your extra special, just like that. Now I wanted to show you a couple of other cards that we made this week. So we have on Monday we made a video of little pocket cards. And this one, it opens up on the inside here, and you can put a message in there, and it just tucks back in here. It's a little pocket. And then we have I can't remember if this is Friday or today's, but we have the swing. Oh, this is Friday. This is the swing card. So you'll see this video come out on Friday morning around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it swings open, and you can see the bunny on both sides. I have another one here that swings open. And then today we released this one, the double front flap card. So it opens from the right, and then it opens from the left, and then there's a message spot for you to put your message in the middle. So those are this week's cards. So if you're interested in any of those, go watch those videos. And it has been wonderful crafting with you again tonight. I hope everyone is doing well. And I will see you again next week. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern. So you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And make sure you're crafty this week. Have a little bit of fun. We'll talk to you later.